So we've tested both of our triggers, our head trigger as well as our rim trigger. Both work brilliantly. We've obviously plugged them in, and you'll notice this one's marked head going to the head trigger, and this one is marked rim going to the rim trigger. Now when it comes to cable management, those are the things that I'm going to do after. I'm going to put those where I like them, where there's no crimping going on, and I can actually get to these connections if I need to quickly. So I'll put one there and one here, and then do the same thing with the rim trigger, just to keep them nice and neat and out of the way, and keep the cables away from one another a little bit, so I'm not getting any re-triggering. Just a little bit. You're not going to get any of that anyway. I just just something that I'm being particular about. Now one last thing. Want to make sure that measurement's correct. We are in 1/8 of an inch. I've already done the measurement here. That's something that you want to check prior to putting the head on. Is just make sure that you're at the 1/8 inch mark from the top of this plane here to the top of the trigger. And this piece of metal bends a little bit, so I've had to just go across like this. You might want to get a sturdier piece of metal or a yardstick or whatever to make sure that your measurement's right. That 1/8 inch is going to stick up higher than the head, and when you put the head on, it'll compress down, and when you tighten it down, it'll sit flush. But this way, you're always putting pressure on that trigger onto the bottom of the head. So what we're going to go ahead and do is peel that sticky. And it's time to put our Pintec mesh head on, which again are very durable, and they give a great, you're not going to get a whole lot of acoustics out of them, which is the point, especially in recording purposes. You're not going to get, or in a rehearsal space, or in even a gig setting, you're not going to get a lot of acoustics bleeding back into the mics. You're going to get a nice tone that's coming right into the board out of your processor, whatever you choose to do. So we're all set. We're all tightened down. I did tighten that. Give that the rim trigger an extra crimp, as well as the 1/4 inch jack. I also tightened it down as well, and you can do that obviously from below if you didn't do that. It's something that you do want to do.